Whoopi Goldberg speaks her mind and offends the entire Jewish community. But why? Let's talk about it, Piranhas. And we are live at
Woo!
525/725 from the Piranha Pond. I want to welcome everybody to the Piranha Pond StreamCast. I am your illustrious host, Kingfish Mac, joined, as usual, by the piranhas in the pond. Down below, my younger bro, Mr. Franklin Nunn Flyer. What's happening with you, baby boy?
What up, world? I'm in it to win it, man. How y'all be?
That's right. We all right. And y'all know who brings the bling bling? All the beauty to the pond, my beautiful cousin, Miss Nick Mo. What's up, Shell?
Hi, what's up, people?
Oh, shit. And shout out to my boy, Mr. Nick Nass. Feeling a little under the weather today. He's chasing down health and wellness. So we're sending him speedy recoveries and shots out. Now you probably gonna catch us on a replay or something. So piranhas, y'all know what's been in the news for the last couple of few days. Uh, Whoopi Goldberg apparently has offended the entire Jewish communities, being called anti-Semitic, or at least her remarks. Um, see if we can get a little background here. Where we at, y'all?
This morning, ABC News suspending Whoopi Goldberg in response to her inaccurate claims that the Holocaust was not related to race. ABC News President Kim Godwin saying, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. Goldberg made the inflammatory remarks Monday on The View while discussing a Tennessee school board's decision to ban the book Mouse, a graphic novel about the Holocaust.
If you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about race.
No, it's about a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Tuesday, she apologized.
I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and it was instead about man's inhumanity to man. But it is indeed about race, because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
The head of the Anti-Defamation League joined The View yesterday to discuss it, saying throughout the Jewish people's history, they've been marginalized in large part because people felt that they were not just a religion, but indeed a different race.
Well, Gans, thank you.
All right, so instead of attacking this subject from the perspective that seemingly everybody else has, I want to have a little different discussion. First of all, let's say shout out to my boy Hawk Brian. What's going on with you? Good
Shout
to
out,
have you
man.
here once again. Don't get mad at us. Shout out to my little bro, Big Dub, Young Junie
What up,
Bug.
baby?
Shout out to Mama Nell. Hey, Mama. And shout out to my sister Meeklin. What up, Mimi?
Hey.
Oh, that was a big comment. Let me put that back up. Okay, so I want to have a little different discussion because what seems to be happening is the greater discussions on podcasts and in the mainstream media seems to be on whether Whoopi should be canceled, right? There seems to be an automatic assumption that what she said at the time was uh, anti-Semitic, dangerous to the Jewish community, this, that, and the third, in its nature, regardless of her intent, is what they are trying to say. Something very interesting happened yesterday on Clubhouse, right? I was in this room. I don't always go in the rooms that just do a bunch of whack 100 arguing. Sometimes I jump in these rooms that have real progressive conversations. This was one, and the conversation was about the Jewish community's relationship to the black community, right? It was a bunch of black folks, scholars, fucking business people. Like, the room had like 1,000 people in it or something, right? Um, this one guy jumped on. I forget his name, but his handle is the King of Jewish Clubhouse, right? He jumped on, got into a conversation, and people were asking him some real hard hitting questions. He wasn't trying to answer the questions, he was more or less just trying to push his particular narrative, over talking to everybody, got kind of heated. He controls a very big room of Jewish people, and he went back to his room and invoked all of his clubhouse members to file complaints about these various rooms that were open where there was open discussions about Jewish relations with other uh, minority groups as well as mainstream groups, right? And this is what happened. You guys read that? So
Uh huh.
so what Clubhouse did is Clubhouse simply went through and shut down rooms that were having conversations, even if the conversations didn't include Jewish people. Because what the rationale was that any conversation that promoted uh, basically uh, a negative characterization would be considered anti-Semitic conversation in violation of community standards, right? Again, the question becomes for me, um, not so much what is right or wrong, but whether we actually can have a conversation where we address some of the hard topics that kind of arise in the way that uh, we are able to challenge one another as communities of people. Mind you, from my perspective, I believe that the black experience in America, right, which lasts way longer than the entire Jewish state, right? We're talking about 1945 or some shit like that. That they carved out Israel and gave the people their land or whatever. But we got brought here 400 and some odd years ago. So the whole black experience, including the entire slave trade, the fucking Middle Passage, the entire whole slave shit on the continent, the ending of slavery and 100 years worth of Jim Crow, civil rights movement, all the way up to George Floyd getting killed. All of our shit is up for national debate, right? Everybody can have any opinion that they want, and nobody is ever canceled for having an opinion negative or uninformed about the black experience. It's almost as though they tell us what is acceptable And we don't get an opportunity to tell them how we even feel about our shit. So, in light of that, where are we in this conversation among cultures? Holler at me, piranhas.
Well, how I personally feel was that um I listened to the whole spiel that you gave and all, even with what you said. Excuse me. And let's be clear, slavery went that long, which can't even be compared to what we're talking about, is because the intent was never to kill us all. It was to work us to fucking death. It was to I own you. That was the whole concept of that. It can't be compared to the Holocaust because the Holocaust was the end result was always genocide. It was always extinction of Jews. They let them letting them live was to do horrific experiments on them. But it was clear when it was finished, the end result was always gas chamber. We're gonna fucking shoot you. It was a concentration camp. And so, and yes, if you want to go tomatoes with plantation concentration camp, but again, the 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 thought process with genocide was always just to kill off the whole fucking race. It was not we're gonna let them live, or we're not even gonna let them procreate. So from my standpoint, is I stand with Whippy. I get why people kind of mad, but she didn't lie because there's a difference. Like we endured all those years because the end result wasn't to ever kill us. They still needed us. Hitler didn't give a shit about the fucking Jewish people. Not that I'm gonna keep them around even to do my fucking slavery. It was no slavery because the end result was we gonna kill them. We gonna kill them, and that's what they did. So again, I think it's a very hard comparison. I don't think Whippy was wrong. I think she was wrong in apologizing, but I get it because everybody needs their bread, they need their coins, and they need their job. But she didn't say it. She didn't say it. She said it like I feel it. Like it's not the same because you can't compare it. It she say race, but I guess race was a like in lack of a better fucking word she could have used in place of it. I don't, she said it, but when she did it, I think she more or less just meant everything that, like you said, everything that came into play with it. We're talking about discrimination. We're talking about oppression. We talk about we gonna work you till you fucking blue in the face because we're not gonna get out there and plow no fucking field. There was things that they needed that us to do that they didn't need to do when they was trying to just get shit. Again, I just say I thought it was. I won't ramble. I thought it was totally different. It's no different than what they did with the Armenians. Genocide is genocide. There ain't that many motherfuckers left to talk to tell itself. And so the conversation you saying that how do we stand with what's going on? I don't have any problem with Jewish people, but again, I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with the plight because to me it's not equal. And if I was Jewish people, I feel like I feel exactly the same. I hope they would feel the same way. Like, nah, you're not going to compare your struggle to ours. Y'all stuck around. Y'all got descendants. We kind of like died, and who didn't survive or escape to have descendants just don't fucking have them.
Um, I believe she was right, but in a different way, due to the fact that I believe the impact or the reason why the impact was so heavy on the Jewish people were because they were the closest to him. Like he wanted to take down everybody. He wanted one superior race, the Aryan race, to be the last race on this earth. He was trying to come for everybody. Everybody. Just happened to stop him before he can get there. So could you imagine? You know what I mean? So and again, they're not an actual race of people. So, uh, I mean, in terms of biologically, uh, I don't think she should have apologized. She was saying what she felt. We are in America, right? Supposedly, we got the right to speak how we feel. And the only reason why there are consequences is because they got more money than we do. Because if we had our own shit, we could say what we want to say. The only reason why they push those issues is because they can. Period, point blank, just to prove. If our struggles were the same, then we'd have same level playing ground. It ain't that. Y'all got handed everything y'all got. We still fighting for ours. So, yeah, not the same. And she shouldn't have apologized because she meant that.
Yeah, I mean, it
But I
was to
mean,
me. It
again,
wasn't. I don't think she was dissing on their plight. She was just saying that it really
no,
wasn't
she was saying it
fair.
was against all humans because he was
Yeah,
coming for us
and
all.
I thought her answer was politically correct. It was a disjustice against mankind. Like I said, they wanted these whole people erased, eradicated from the earth. They never said they was necessarily trying to do that to black people. They ain't saying we gonna fucking oppress y'all. They're not saying we ain't gonna fucking own y'all. We ain't gonna say we ain't gonna still make y'all be in distant service to us even after fucking slavery. The intent was always show us that you were the superior race. Hitler just wanted to fucking kill
They still
him.
white.
He
They're just
wanted
not
to kill him.
German.
Just done.
I think it's quite a few moving parts that's going on with the story, right? First off, I think that pretty much everybody in the conversation is getting caught up in one or two things, right? And it basically comes down to the same thing, and that is whether Whoopi Goldberg was correct in her information. And you could have two different arguments. I think the most logical argument for me, right, on both sides, right, is that well, on the one side, uh, uh, Hitler did consider the Jewish people a race of people, right, for purposes of extinguishing them, right? They were a race, not a class. Um, I think that Israel was established and cut out because of religious purposes, right? Religious considerations, right? When took that land from them people over there, you know what I'm saying, and caused a 50-year fucking war, fucking Palestine, and you know what I'm saying over there and shit, right? Because y'all listen to the United Nations, listen to the Jewish community, the Jewish displaced people saying we don't have a home. Our home should be where we originally came from, right? Religiously, according to the Torah and trace
Right,
back through the Bible and everything else.
right. But
So
not
you
by
do
blood.
acknowledge yourself as being a religion. You also, on the other side of things, right? You say that um, for however many the last 50 years, you guys have been considered or you have continued to be marginalized because you are a race of people and because of the particular negative connotations that have been portrayed. You know what I'm saying? And not even in popular culture, really just in conversation because they control the popular culture, right? They control all the media outlets, the information, the disinformation, the how do you say it? Dissemination of information. They control that shit, right? So the the all the stereotypical shit, right, has kind of come at word of mouth and because of people's experiences, right? Real life experiences, right? So what I would say is on that level, right? There are good and bad people who marginalize other people in every race, right? Like you guys get to take us, black people, fuck slavery, right? We're just going to modern day, right? The the popular media portrays black people, black men, as lazy, shiftless, criminal, violent, the fucking boogeyman, right? Most of us are not that, right? In real life, right? Like 80% of black men get up and go to work every motherfucking day, right? So we don't get a chance to protest about the imagery or the message that's sent out about us, because what they always come back on is they throw the criminal justice records in our face, talk about black on black crime, talk about drug use, and talk about all these different things that plague our particular community and the bad people in our community, right? And they represent those as being um, representative of us as a people. But at the same time, they have people like Bernie Madoff, fucking the Weinstein dude, the Epstein dude, right? These are generally evil people, right? Who went to fucking synagogue at the end of the week. And so while they were going to synagogue and in good standing with the Jewish community because they before their ass got exposed, any woman, any fucking child, any fucking person going to fucking deal with any kind of financial shit that got fucked over, a black person got fucked over, a woman who got fucked over, she wasn't allowed to complain about the inherent evilness of this person because they relied on their Judaism, right, to fucking wash away the bad sins. You feel what I'm saying? So even in this, it kind of brings me back to the conversation that we were having with Dave Chappelle and the trans community, right? Dave was vilified by the trans community for simply asking questions, right? Questions that he seriously wanted to know answers to, questions that were real. Like the things that he was describing in his comedy was real. He was putting a funny twist to shit, over exaggerating shit, whatever the fuck. That's what comedians do. But those questions were real because as a black man, a straight black man living in America, knowing that I have to deal at some point with the trans community, I would like to know the answers to some of those questions that Dave was asking, right? But I can't ask them because if I ask them, then I'm transphobic, right? So seeking understanding, right, in this day and age from certain protected groups is simply out of the fucking question, right? Because the only understanding that you're ever supposed to get is the good things that these particular groups want to promote, not the fuck shit that they do. Remember, for the last 50 years, right, just dealing with housing, right? Housing in fucking urban America, right? Black folks have had to deal with redlining, fucking marginalizing and fucking voting shit, right? Uh, Motherfuckers not being able to get fucking loans in various
Yeah,
different
banking
places. Like
system.
it's all kind of like it's so much of the shit happening that you cannot just assume that these are isolated incidents. You have to assume that there is some conspiratorial nature, or at least a conspiratorial fucking feeling underlying everything for these decisions to continuously be being made. And guess who the fuck are making them? But we don't get to have that conversation, right? When we talk about the marginalization of black people, then only thing that we can say is it's done by white people, right? And this is where I fall down because in that conversation, Jewish people are not trying to be separated from white
Right.
people. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? When you talk about uh, who runs media, who runs fucking the newspaper, who decides what music gets put out, who deals with the news shit, who runs fucking YouTube, what we on right now. When we talk
Mm-hmm.
about those things and we talk about the negative aspects of them, some of the things that may have negatively affected our community, then the conversation becomes, oh, it's the man, it's white folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you get specific and you start talking about these Steins and these Bergs that are
Mm-hmm.
actually at the head of these companies that are making the decisions, right?
They white too.
Overall, you can't have that conversation because now you're becoming anti-Semitic because you're saying the Jewish nature or the the evil nature that is inherent in their actions is somehow representative of all Jewish people. And that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, can we have the conversation? Can you guys come out at some point? You guys are always talking about black on black crime. We didn't invent that fucking term. You know why? Because it ain't no white on white crime. That's how you
Right.
know we ain't invented that fucking term at all, right?
It's
But
way more
when
white
you
on white
start to
crime than
fucking
black on
having
black
those
crime.
conversations where you asking black people, the black community, to hold ourselves accountable for the fuck shit that goes on in our community, why can't we ask you to hold yourselves accountable for the fuck shit that goes on in your community, including the bullying of people who have larger platforms than the average motherfucker? Like if Whoopi Goldberg was Nick Mo, we wouldn't have never heard about this shit.
Right.
If you said the same thing that Whoopi Goldberg said, which was nothing bad, right? She was actually making a comparison. She was making an irony. She was pointing out an irony, right? She was saying these motherfuckers is talking about taking the books, taking this particular book out of the out of a school fucking library or whatever and shit, right? Right. Removing this particular book because shows graphic it tells graphic fucking details about the fucking Holocaust, right? Okay. By the same fucking token, you ban any book that teaches anything about the history of America that involves black people, where it shows that black people have been marginalized by the power structure over here, right? So the people on the panel, the Jewish ladies on the panel, were arguing that the book shouldn't be removed from the school's library or whatever because it tells a raw truth. What Whoopi was saying was, but wait a minute, you can't say that. If they're going to do it, then let's do it by the same standards. Because what you guys said about removing the books about Jim Crow, this, that, and the third, was that those acts weren't about slavery. They weren't about racism. Those acts were about economics. Those acts were about the sign of the times. Those acts were about workforce in America. They weren't about inherent racism of the people in the power structure, which we know to be sheer bullshit. How do you enslave an entire class of people based upon the color of their skin and where they came from and say it's not fucking racism? You're crazy as fuck. It was racism. And it is because it was racism that you guys decided to take the fucking books out of the schools under the fucking uh the critical race theory shit just last year.
Right.
What Whoopi is saying is, no, for you bitches that's on the panel, you Jew bitches and shit that's talking that shit about no, this just stay. You didn't make the same argument about the
Right.
goddamn
Right.
the critical race theory books
Theory.
because
Right.
y'all said that all the shit that's
That
been
wasn't
going
y'all
on
fight.
was not
Right.
about racism. It wasn't
Right.
about race. It was about power. It was about economic. It was about
Mm-hmm.
just people doing fucked up shit to people. Well, that's what
Mm-hmm.
Whoopi was saying, the same fucking thing, throwing the same shit back in your funky ass faces.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But she's
But
not
Whoopi don't
allowed.
control nothing. Yeah, she don't control nothing.
Well, you know what?
Exactly.
I'm gonna say this. Holocaust has been a very, very, very long time. You know, just like how some people then came up, lack of a better phrase. Then then they descendants. Same thing with, you know, Jewish people here now. But sometimes, it's always that classic role of doing too much. Like it's not an issue for us to talk about slavery. Because if it was, then the issue with taking it out of a school, well, then it would be not even, it would be a minute point because we can talk about slavery. It's the people who fucking endeared it to us who can't talk about it. So again, but we could have took that whole thing and did too fucking much too. Somebody put some shit in place a long fucking time ago and calling it a protected conversation. We never gave a shit. Like I said, we didn't do slavery to ourselves, so we don't give a shit. We can look you in your face and tell you what your people fucking did to us. If you choose to believe or not, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. We and you know what, and maybe shame on us that we're that comfortable and have stomached it for so long, to where again we can have a conversation with you about one of the worst tragedies that ever happened to our race. All intents purposes, we shouldn't be able to talk about it, but the Indians fucking talking about it, and we fucking talking about it. So I'm saying that with the whole protected speech thing, or however that goes, I just think that it was something that put in place a long time ago. It probably is more obsolete now, but again, you can't. I think it's more unfair to say something and you stand on it, but I can't stand on it. Again, let's go with the fact of nigga. I can call you nigga, but then we gonna get mad that Keith Anthony is calling you a nigga, but I've been calling you nigga every night. Now we gonna argue that is a different way from what I said, and the fucking intent of how I did it, and we didn't know what the intent was how he did it. But however, it's still the same word, and that's kind of where I'm going with it on it. Like I don't think if anything, I think more of the more younger Jewish race don't give a shit about. I ain't gonna say don't give a shit, but they can talk about what happened to them too. Again, it was fucking genocide. I think the Armenians they at this fucking table too. The whole thing was fucking genocide. Again, it wasn't shit that we did to us. It's other people who don't want to talk about it because they fucking did it. A slave owner is not gonna want to sit down and have a talk with you about, yeah, but I could have did it fucking differently.
So I guess
So
my upset is a little bit different. Right? Go ahead, Frank.
no, the it was a whole lot of acts of genocide throughout the history of our great
Right.
time on this earth. Um, I'm not exactly sure why you guys are so different. I mean, you know,
You can't
a
talk
whole
about
lot
it.
of black people died on them
Right.
ships and trying to get free, and I mean, close to millions, if not millions. Um, we only difference is we didn't get paid for ours though, but all y'all did,
Still
and we not crying
got a
about it.
whole country.
You know,
And I
then
Got
yeah,
a
but
whole country out to deal
we
with.
I
not
had a
crying
better
about it.
question. What that was part of y'all? Cause let's be real, they got more reparations if you want to call it that than we did. They
They got
got
a
more
whole
tax
country.
break with
No,
with
no,
with
they got
with everything with everything. So I'm just saying that how like
they
how
all
how
did.
how your conversation is how that's true. That was part of y'all
So I tell
coming
you
to
what.
America better, better way of living act that people weren't gonna be able to talk about y'all struggle and y'all plight. Like how that's how
I mean,
you
because
think
if
it
you
was
go
like
too deep, it'll unfold all they
yeah,
evil.
how that
That's
was
why they don't
changing
want you
y'all
talking about it.
bylaws. I guess because as black people we never got any real form of reparations that
Never
I guess that
got
we'd have had
shit.
that platform too. We could have put some shit in place what we feel like should be dictated further down the line in life.
Yeah,
But
but
we
I
didn't
mean,
get those same fucking breaks. So
at
that's
all,
why it wasn't the same. And that's why Whippy wasn't fucking wrong.
at all.
I ain't got no fucking bank name after me. And I ain't getting
The
no
field
tax
ain't
breaks
level.
on that bitch.
The field ain't
I'm
level at
not
all.
Abraham. I don't
What's up,
own a
Bud?
fucking chain
What
full
it
of
do?
Hadabi fucking stores that got the cute
Nigga
little
Bud
fucking
Root
coffee
in the
cups.
house.
I don't have that shit. We
They
didn't get
didn't give
that
us
same
shit.
fucking package.
They didn't do shit but take from us.
That,
They didn't give us
and
shit.
then on top of all of that, now you want us to be like, yeah, but it wasn't because you was dark skinned. It wasn't because you came from a different continent or
I
you
said
people
that,
did.
bro.
Now it's
I
more
said
about
that, bro.
well, it was so it was more economically stable to go to a continent, get people, half the motherfuckers die on the way to this land. If we're gonna talk about it was more it was economy. It was more about economy than racism. How Sway? How?
So so
So
what
so
I say?
it was cheaper to come from Virginia to Sierra Leone and get people and bring them back, and half the cargo wasn't gonna fucking make it. You won.
So what? The question to the why,
Oh y'all, the
right?
smoke is I'm burning sage. I know I get heated, so this is my way of trying to like cleanse out the area. My bad. I know I go hard, and this is my way of bringing my.
Do your thing, sis. Shit. So look. So the answer to the question of why, in my opinion, right, is this: from we'll just go from a Jewish scholar's position, right? And I'm gonna take what the one Jewish scholar was trying to impart upon Nick Cannon at the time when, he
That's
said,
if you truly believe they were the chosen people.
so, so what a Jewish scholar would say is, based upon the history of the Jewish people in Germany and Poland and, all that shit before World War II and what happened to them, right? And the and the political climate that was built, right, where uh, this whole negative inference was being put out across the country about Jewish people, that they were the the goldsmiths, they were the people who ran the bread, they were the people who uh, they were the cause of the regular people who weren't Jewish, right, to be in regular fucking despair or whatever, right? Motherfuckers wasn't doing so good. And so it allowed a climate for Hitler to do what he did, right? And so their slogan is literally never again, right? And so what the ADL and fucking I mean the yeah, the Anti Defamation League, the Jewish Defense Fund, all these different big name groups, what they do is promulgate the idea of never speaking negatively about the Jewish community at all. Because if they allow anything negative to be said about the Jewish community, even criticism about how they have performed in this country in the last 50 years or whatever, since World War II, right? Um, it would allow that same type of climate to exist to where they could be wiped off the face of the planet. Now, what I'll say is this: I'll give you that just on the strength as a community of people and just me being the spokesman for the black community in this fucking moment. I'll say, okay, cool. We'll give you that. You have the right to determine what is offensive to you as a community of people, right? And by the way, we have had to learn through trial and error, because what you say is a big blanket kind of statement, like don't say shit. And we kind of trying to regard you as regular people, just like us, another marginalized group who does fuck shit like we do, right? And we're just trying to address the fuck shit the same way you address our fuck shit. But you say we can't, because you get to determine what is anti Semitic. And I'll say, cool. In order to give you that, you have to allow us the same thing. Allow the black community the latitude to determine what is offensive to us. So, one thing that's offensive to me is just the whole black on black crime statement. Just the whole idea. Like, if you mention black on black crime, if you say that statement to me, that's anti nigger. Period. It's a poor representation of my people. It instills inherent sense of hostility in anyone who's not black. Not only that, I'm not like you being Jewish where you can be mistaken for white. They'll never mistake me for nothing but a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let me define what it is that's offensive to me in my community. Let us define what you get to talk about. You don't get to characterize us as a people and the way that we move amongst our own people and how we move in the greater scheme of fucking mainstream America. You don't get to discuss our education and this, that. You don't get to discuss our heroes. You don't get to decide who our heroes is. You don't get to have a voice in our conversations about Malcolm versus Martin. You don't get to say shit. I don't give a fuck how much money you donated to the civil rights movement, because I look at that as manipulation. You're trying to buy a particular position. So fuck you. You don't get to say nothing. You don't get to comment on how we feel about reparations. You don't get to be a part of that conversation. You don't get to tell me anything about child care, fucking procreation, my community, marriage, religion. You don't get to do any of that. You don't get to talk about Farrakhan at all. At all. Period. Period. Because that is offensive to me as a black person. Anytime that you mention Farrakhan in any way, because it's generally going to be negative, I consider you to be saying that the entire black race needs to be eliminated from the face of the planet. I am that offended by you mentioning the minister. So you don't get to do that. Remember, I've already given you the latitude to define whatever you believe to be offensive, and I'm going to abide by that. Can you give us the same thing? Fuck no, they can't. And
They ain't
that's
gonna
my
give
problem.
a shit. They
And
ain't
that's
gonna
my
give a
problem.
shit.
It's not, I don't have a problem with the way that they define themselves or the way that they identify or the way that they push their political agenda and shit, right? Like, if you got the numbers and you got the political clout, you supposed to fucking do shit for your people. I'm not mad at that. Give me the same fucking latitude. Because you don't. You never have. And I don't believe that you ever could. I don't believe that it ever could be in the conversation. I believe that anytime where black scholars are in a conversation with Jewish scholars, what the conversation becomes is an affirmation of Jewish pain as opposed to an affirmation of equal pain and uh, 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 a mutual understanding of where to go forward. It's always about what we got to do to appease that community. Even though we don't never do shit to that community. We don't have the power to do anything to that community. We don't go
But
fuck their
feed them
ass up.
money.
We don't got no Scud missiles.
But feed them
We
money.
trying to fucking do business with you motherfuckers. Y'all control all the music, all the media, everything. We trying to exist in this motherfucker. We trying to buy jury from y'all. Y'all control all the whole diamond shit in the fucking United States. Niggas buy diamonds. It's the first thing a nigga do. You get a little bit of money. If you ain't flossing for yourself, you flossing for your woman. Niggas buy your shit. We fuck with y'all. Y'all don't fuck with us. So stop fucking with us then. Like, leave us the fuck alone. Let us do what the fuck we doing and get the fuck out of our business. How about that?
Yep, we want all our music. We want all our shit. Give us our
Right.
shit. Leave us
Give
the
us
fuck
all
alone.
our shit.
Give us cool, and we'll walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because this country, y'all life, none of that would be shit without us. Cause y'all built off the back of us too. Y'all built off our
No,
inventions that y'all stole. Y'all done a whole lot of bad to us, a whole lot of evil to us.
and to me,
And we can't cancel y'all like that though. But we will one day. All we gotta do is take control of our shit. We don't need y'all. I don't understand this shit, bro. I don't understand this shit. This is
I
crazy as
mean,
hell to me.
you know, I think both sides get equally, how I
No, of
want to word
course.
it,
Oh, hell yeah.
just equally. It'll hold on, it'll come back to me in a second. But I just feel like mm, you don't get to. I don't know, because at the end of the day, it's like that. I just think that they look at. They have a lot of people who look down on Jewish people as a whole, like they do black people. I mean, you see it on TV all the time. I'm just, it's just like I don't think like I think when it comes to shitting on people, we equally all get it, and stuff like that, and Lord knows, like we talking about Jewish and we talking about us, but at the end of the day, we have a little money to sustain us a little bit. When they talk about Mexicans, they just go hard in the paint. There's no comeback from that conversation, you know. But I tell everybody at the same time, I feel like we the bottom of the food chain. I know we look at other other people who think that we doing a little better than us. We doing a little better than them, but I still feel like we the bottom of the food chain sometimes. Like I, no matter what we do, and why? Because like I'm gonna just say the shitty thing. We the only ones out there going out there and gotta buy diamonds like that. We the ones that gotta floss like that. You know, it's been proven a long time if we can take some of that money and put it all together as a family and stuff like that, we'd all be better off and stuff like that. I mean, I think the best thing the Indians could do was when they got their land like that and put a cash call on it. Even though you look at it and you just be like, how can they take their ancestors' land and do that to them? I don't think their ancestors got one problem with seeing them exceed past the fucking means that they ever thought they was ever going to. They actually said, you know what? The world is gonna pass us up anyway, so either we can roll with this flow, or roll with this flow, or we can sit back all at home and just be in teepees all fucking day and act like this shit was when it was the turn of the fucking century. It's not that anymore.
We need to do we probably need to do a pod on the Native Americans and the casino shit, because I don't think the communities as a whole benefit as much as we think, because life on the res is kind of fucked up right now, for real, for them to be generating all that kind of money. I don't think that they distributing that shit the way
and a
that
lot
they
of those
should
things
be.
got to do with the pipeline,
And we don't get to have nothing to say about it.
But I went to school. I went to college with people who they parents.
Tune in. We be
was
on
one of
Tuesdays and Thursdays, but
those
all the time, bro.
and stuff like that. Like, they did not come up. Let's say that.
But my point is
But
this:
like you said,
regardless what they do with the money, they was given the money, nigga. They got land taken from them, but we built this shit the fuck up. All those who are not native, because a lot of us are native. I know for a fact that I'm not, but for all those who are though, nigga, we built this shit, man. They literally stole us and took our people from where we was happy at, nigga. And brought us and put us through this torment, nigga.
They
You know what I'm saying?
let me tell you one thing. If they should be the saltiest motherfuckers ever. Why? They gave it, they took it away. They fucking gave it, they took it away. They said we're gonna give you a margin of it, and then they fucking took that away. Like you think the Native Americans have not. What we're not gonna do is turn it into that, because I'm not yet. We're not gonna do that, because I'm all right. They got casinos. Like I said, I bet they people never thought that this is what will be going on their land, but they not, at the end of the day, they ain't mad at them.
No, I ain't mad at them at all. That ain't the point. What I'm saying is they got that action.
Now the nation is doing typical shit that it does. The Indians is gonna give you land, but it's gonna be a small fucking clause in that bitch where we could take it away somehow. Well, this particular thing just have to do with the pipeline.
they mad as
So
a
for all that they are getting, if most of them that's in them Dakota areas, that's yeah, we got it, but we gotta fight. We wake up fighting for this bitch every fucking day. We know that if we sleep 2 days too long, the pipeline's gonna come through this bitch and fuck up our water, blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Leg old beef on fire. You know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing about that is the crazy thing about that is
they never put their back at the end of the sofa.
The crazy thing about that is
they
it'll be
fucking. I bet you they couldn't take off. I bet you nothing.
So yeah. The crazy thing about that is we drive their economy though. And that's a completely different story. Because if we controlled our own if we controlled everything that we produce or everything that they produce, or we produce and they take advantage of, and kept it to us, and started our own shit, did our own shit, bought our own land, did our own shit, and just did business with them like we would do with anybody else, nigga.
But it didn't happen.
That would be.
People stole their land from us.
It would be ridiculous.
And then gave
burn
them,
our shit
and
down
then
like
burn
our shit down like Black Wall Street.
Yeah, because with that we have our own security too. Like fuck all that. That's what make motherfuckers scared to build. And And
I'm not
and
talking
it's
about burn
always a way
down
to do it though.
literally. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
I'm saying
literally.
in general, and especially with the way the Bitcoin is now. Like we don't have to, man.
Mhm.
Bitcoin just took a big ass motherfucking plunge. I was talking
No,
to
I'm saying
somebody about this shit
cryptocurrency
today.
in general. If we
No,
made
so
our
that's
own
what I'm
currency
saying.
and use our
Crypto,
own currency,
crypto
the
just took
fuck?
$1 trillion fucking loss. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. Oh, look, that's crazy too. It's crazy too. But yeah, we need to learn how to control and take back our own shit, bro. That's the only way this shit's gonna work out for us. Cause they ain't trying to give us nothing. Everything that we got, we had to work for, including all these big rich entertainment ass sucking and driving buck dancing niggas. They did they work. They put it in. You know what I'm saying? And those who ain't doing that and still getting it cracking. But you got to put back into nigga getting us about this bullshit. Because y'all got the money to do it. Great minds to do it. Motherfuckers just got to come together, man, and quit being scared to work with each other. Quit being scared to build with each other. Because they not. That's why they got the ability to suspend Whoopi Goldberg for telling the truth or speaking her truth.
Right.
Because they run everything. Okay? But they don't have to.
See,
They don't have to. They can't do this shit without us.
Whoopi said a long time that I think people thought that the View was syndicated, but the View is not syndicated. She said that a while back. The View would have been syndicated. Whoopi could have walked away and still made coin, but it's not. She got to show up every fucking day for work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Probably
it is a
fucking
certain type of hell being on that show. That makes
seasons.
sense because by the time it do go into syndication, Whoopi may she might not even be here no more. So what I'm saying is that you would think that somebody of the caliber of Whoopi Goldberg, I would think because Whoopi is Whoopi that at the end of the day, if she left or she let go, she'd be more than fine. This that was Whoopi's second fucking career in life. So I'm sorry, third, because being comedy was the first,
Right.
then actor, then correspondent, host. So I would think that I don't think everybody
Whoopi
on
got
that panel would be as
Whoopi got an
funny,
award. Whoopi got
but
an award in
yeah,
every all four fucking spheres of entertainment.
right.
She got an Academy Award. She got a
So I'm
Tony.
hoping she's
She
sitting on
got a
the
Grammy,
sideline somewhere in
and she
Bermuda
got
with
a
her feet in the fucking
what is
sand
the
and just
what is the other one?
take this 2 weeks and chill because them 2 weeks shouldn't
Oscar.
them 2 weeks shouldn't
That's the Academy Award.
that's not even
Oh.
Whippy taking it on the chin, them 2 weeks. That ain't
Oscar,
yeah.
Grammy, Tony, and something else.
But
Oscar.
yeah.
Grammy. Tony. I don't know.
Yeah, she can do what she pretty much wants to, and she bred it up. But now, when you get to that level, it's again about operating on a different frequency and shit, right?
Right.
Because nigga like me or you, right? Any of the three of us, we get whoopee money tomorrow, right? And the
Right.
day after tomorrow, they cancel us. We like, what? I'm still going to buy a fucking Ferrari.
No, no, and don't
I'm
get
gonna
me
live my
I'm gonna
wrong.
figure
motherfucking
out a way
life
to
and
funnel my
Look,
shit
live
back
look,
to the
the
look.
people.
fuck
She
up.
she's proven to truly be in a different place in life because she's not fuck it. She's still
She's still going to work
for,
every day.
for all
70
intents
years old.
purposes, she still came back after nobody. Let's be clear, nobody fucking thought she was wrong, and came back and gave that bullshit apology. Clearly, she wanna be there. Clearly, she fucking wanna be there. Cause
Right.
again, if I scratch this motherfucker off or do the mogul lottery, and I feel like I got all the numbers. I feel like I got all the numbers. I ain't checked it out yet, but I know that what the people called on TV, I had.
You
I ain't
quit.
went down there yet, showed them my ID and showed them my lottery ticket, but I feel like I won. That's how much I wouldn't fucking go to work tomorrow. So for Whippy to
I don't think
get
that'd be that
and
easy
come
for
her
me.
ass on
I think
TV
I'd be scared,
and give
stuck. Like
that dumbass
I gotta make
fucking
my plan happen
analogy
first.
of a apology, knowing she don't need it, but she want to be there. She got other reasons for wanting to be there. I ain't mad at her, but just know that Whippy could have not did
Nah,
that
hell no.
and been okay. No, let me tell you why. Because even if she wasn't Whoopi, even if she didn't have all that fucking money in the bank, there's a such thing as people looking out for their own, and Whoopi would have her own talk show on fucking own with Oprah tomorrow if she really
I
wanted to
mean,
fucking leave the View.
you would like
Let's
to
be
think
fucking
so.
clear on that. She ain't Whoopi and put all these fucking years in the industry. She kissed fucking Ted Danson on TV.
I don't believe
Probably the
in
only
Oprah
black woman
spirit
that
like
ever
that
did
though.
that. Period.
I don't believe in
And
Oprah
dated.
spirit like that. And
So
to
Whoopi
answer your
ain't just
question,
fucking
bro,
Whoopi. You
nah,
know,
we
like
think she
we can
right.
say that shit. You know, I mean, we can say that, but hey, Whippy ain't just Whippy. You know,
I don't believe in Oprah spirit
in
like that, but
later
I do
years,
believe she can get her own shit if she
Whippy
wanted to.
Whippy just calmed it down a little bit, and she's doing her little thing on TV, and she's comfortable with doing it every day. And they have, you know, she's a little moderator, and she's good. That's a perfect package to fucking retire with. Easy fucking breezy, right? As in going to these fucking casting calls, being on the set for 3 or 8 fucking months.
She
You
do
know,
what you
like,
do.
right. What you
She
say?
do what she do what
Yes,
you do for a
every day.
living.
Every
Every day.
fucking day. You
Come
know,
in and
just
talk her shit.
right. Come in, talk her shit.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think it'll be
stuff
more about losing the spot in the national
not to
spotlight,
too much
being able
rock
to
the
talk her
boat,
shit.
but
But
right. Too
They
many
give her
because
ass
but
like
because
8
it was
million a
about
year
Jewish
for it
fucking
though.
people, because if let's be
yeah,
clear, this shit would have been about fucking Chinese people, Whippy wouldn't have been fucking suspended. So again, that whole privacy protected conversation is bullshit. Y'all won't penalize us for talking about some shit that y'all can't stomach, but not even do y'all want us to stomach it. Y'all want us to act like it never even fucking happened. Y'all fucking cowards.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy, and we shouldn't be. I mean, we didn't. They didn't, man.
And I'm not calling
It's
Jewish people cowards, but I'm
it's
saying if you Jewish and you agree that Whippy should be suspended or that she meant it in that fucking light, then fuck you.
The funny
it's
shit is that they had people that came out of actually even the person who was the head of ABC who suspended her said that they didn't believe that Whoopi was racist. They didn't believe
I know
that
she said
she
it in the heat of
had
the moment, but
any anti-Semitic intent, but that the information that she was putting out was so ignorant that they had to suspend her for 2 weeks without pay. So
see,
basically, you just
again,
had to. Basically, this was the nigga bitch get back in your place.
right,
right.
right.
Because it wasn't
That's
nothing
what I.
ignorant about
And
it.
I
It
was
was basically
That's
true, nigga. It was a
that's what I
horrible
heard.
man doing horrible shit to horrible people. Is what she was saying. Now y'all make it about a race thing because that's the worst thing that happened to y'all. But you see white motherfuckers saying nigga or pushing issues on the shit
yes,
that we got
look,
going on in our own communities all the goddamn time.
I think the
mm,
pushback was because she was pushing back on Joy Behar and the other chick who had came out like they didn't understand the whole fucking banning the fucking books from the school curriculums or whatever and shit that taught about slavery and Jim Crow. Because their positioning was Jim Crow and slavery wasn't necessarily about race, it was about economics. That people have been enslaved, various different races of people have been enslaved
so
over the years, right? But
they feed
American
into that critical
racism,
theory. That critical
right?
they because if they said that, then that's what the critical theory is, that it was about, like you said, about economics, and who didn't fucking think Jim Crow was about racism.
This is what I'm
I'm gonna
saying.
say this and
So she
repeat
was
this.
pushing back against the Jewish chicks on the show, right? With the same shit that I'm doing right now is what Whoopi was doing. She was like, nah, hold up. You say it's
I,
one way for us, make it one way for y'all too. What the fuck you talking about? You feel what I'm saying? That's what she was doing. And that's why she got the backlash, in my opinion. I land.
Perhaps, right.
Again, when certain things happen like that, and it makes you actually make people have to put their cards on the table, I'd be interested in I ain't even gonna say the upcoming weeks, but the upcoming months. I'd be
Shout out to
interested
my
to
boy
see
Nick
how
for that.
long that Whippy is gonna be on the View, because
That's what
I
I'm
have a
on.
big feeling because
That's what I'm on.
of what she had to actually come back and do, and because she's still getting disciplinary sentence that she's getting, even though she came back publicly and damn near recanted it. I wouldn't be surprised if a motherfucker like Oprah got something in the works for fucking Whippy. Because Whippy
No,
didn't
Hawk.
have to do that.
No,
I don't
Hawk, you
believe in
not.
Oprah
And she not
spirit like
hurting for
that.
no fucking money.
I don't
But
believe in Oprah spirit like that.
Look, no, Hawk Brian. No, you're not, bro. And no. Now, let me get Atlanta told in here because Hawk think that we be on him because he white. He have no idea that we fuck with white dudes for real, for real. Like,
For real, for real. Yeah, man.
like
I got a whole half
one of my.
white family.
I mean,
You feel what I'm saying?
we
Like,
not on you
we ain't
because you
on no
white, but if
bullshit
you
like
keep
that.
saying fucking shit that make it seem like we are, then we gonna fucking talk about you. Stop. Fuck.
Boog, you know, tell
Please
my
stage
boy,
your ass out, Hulk.
hey, Boog, in the comments, tell my boy, 12th man off the grid, AK, about my boy Atlanta Toad. He think that we don't fuck with white dudes.
I don't even know why you think that. Why? She married to a mixed woman. What that got to do? Oh
Oh,
well.
Mimi, you know Toad too. Shit, you know Toad well as I do. Shit, you fuck
But
with him
no,
like I
Hulk,
fuck
we
with him.
don't have nothing to do with. I mean, we ain't tripping like that, baby. So don't take the show like that. So, and we fuck with
Yeah,
you, so please know that. So. Now, this me being nice. Take that shit.
Unlike Jews, we not racist. But that's the same thing they doing to Whoopi though.
Allegedly.
Um,
That's why I stopped
just
Mimi.
cutting
I
her
came in.
off.
I didn't know the
You know
whole.
what I'm saying?
I wasn't reading the whole chat, so I didn't
They
know if
was
I said the
reaffirming.
word.
They
I
was
don't know if that's
reaffirming they whole bullshit. The same shit that they was complaining about in them books by cutting Whoopi off. Period.
I mean, they just proved the fucking point. I agree with you on that.
No, Mimi, I was talking about
Right.
you know Toad. Because Hawk think we don't fuck with white people. He asked me one time in the comments, he said, is he the only white dude that loves us?
We
No,
love
Nah,
you. It
bro.
doesn't
no.
matter if you are. We okay with that. We okay with that. Even
Get
if
Toad to
you
come on
gonna
the
be for the next
podcast
6
one day.
months, you in comment section. We look for you.
I'm going
We
to get
fuck with
Toad to
you.
come on and bring a big ass bag of pot. I'm going to get Told to come on and
Got
bring
a
a
lot
big
so
ass
tired.
bag of pot and roll some of them fatties and shit, right?
We always start
Real
beefing
Yeah,
spill.
within
but he's still
an
white
hour.
though. But he's still
Always
white
start
though.
to go haywire for the pod.
But you know, I mean, I believe a lot of the times, even white. I mean, man, man.
Yeah, just to kill this off. One of these days I'm gonna get Told, I'm gonna get Ryan, I'm gonna get Kim and Heather, I'm gonna get Sheila, I'm gonna get fucking Steph, I'm gonna get Joe. Yeah, I'm gonna get Joe.
All them people.
Who the fuck else I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get a bunch of them, and we're gonna have the Black White Night. And Hawk, you get to come on in person live and spit your shit.
You know,
And
with some
just
of your
watch
folks.
yourself, because my boys is
Yeah.
ghetto as motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Get my boy Jew to come on too. Get my boy Joshy to come on. We're gonna have ice cream night, vanilla and chocolate swirl around this
You know what
bitch.
I'm saying? This
So you
world
know
night. You know
how
what
we
I'm
really
saying?
get down around this motherfucker. Like we just a bunch of fucking hippies and shit, man. That's what we is for real, for real.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Gotta bring
intelligent ass
hacksaw.
hippies.
Have hacksaw
Yeah,
jump
gotta
this
bring my
Jesus
boy
looking ass
Hack.
in here. You know what I'm saying?
But Hack ain't white. Hack, I swear to God, Hack say he Hispanic. He just look white.
Oh well, that's cool too. You can hop on anyway. We love y'all too.
Well, damn.
I love y'all. Love y'all. I think y'all and us same people.
Mimi, you can jump
Different
on
struggle.
anytime you want to. I'll send you the link whenever the fuck you want to go. Come on.
That's what any of y'all.
Real spill, bud.
Wait a minute. Can you and Frank work together?
Who?
I'm just playing with you.
Stupid.
Oh, nigga.
Oh, there go my boy Tony right there. What up, Toad?
What up?
So man, my boy Hawk still be thinking that we don't fuck with nobody that look like you. Let me just say this, man. Toad is one of my closest motherfuckers. Like for real, for real. Like trust and believe. whole family. So don't get it fucked up. Don't get it fucked up.
Oh, we got him. You know what I'm saying? We got him.
Indeed.
Thank you,
He fucks
Auntie
with
Mel.
them
Yeah, it
all.
was good tonight. It was good tonight.
Yeah, we had a hot hour too. Last time I seen it was the fight on White Street. Jesus, I remember hearing about that. In the White Gates, right? That shit was in the White Gates. I bring some Colt 45. Man, we don't drink no fucking Colt 45, man. We drink hard liquor, man. Nobody drink no fucking beer, bro.
Who the hell said that?
I
That was
miss
Hulk.
Yeah.
even in Alaska, Lord. You go
Oh
all the way
man,
to
we
Alaska
G's
and look for
around
Colt
here, man. We all
45.
grown
I'm
folks
a
and shit,
whiskey
man. We
man,
drink no
Hulk. I'm a
goddamn
whiskey
beer,
man, brother.
man. I
We
drink
don't.
vodka.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey man, brother.
We
I don't
drink.
do Coke
I
45.
be
We
What
off
you
drink
that
mean?
around this
clear.
cut.
I be off that near but clear.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
y'all
but
birthday is the
great
same day I'm
gesture
Luke.
though. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, Tony, you already know. Told say he'd be off that Vasi Vasi,
You
baby.
know what I'm saying? Kobe, the
Told be off that Vasi
Kobe nigga.
Vasi. Run that yak. Run it to the back, goddamn
Basta
it.
Cavassier.
Pass it, baby.
Yeah, we drink real alcohol around here, Hulk. I mean, you know,
Grown
we
motherfuckers and shit.
grown, yeah, bro. We grown as shit.
Well, y'all just fucking lose it.
But I mean, we'll have a case of Coke 45 for you though when you do pop
Yeah,
up.
we could.
We
Yeah,
got you,
we
bro.
you know
That's
you
what
can
you
drink
into.
whatever you want to drink, right?
Yeah, if that's
My
what you
dad
into,
told
we
me a
got you.
man ain't. My dad told me a man ain't a real man unless he got at least one good vice, right?
Right. I mean,
One
everybody
good
need them.
fight.
Everybody need them pressure
One good
releases,
fight.
bro. Humans
One
are
good vice.
Smoking,
humans, man.
drinking,
Everybody need to release that
suck.
pressure.
That one good vice.
Yep, that's real spill.
Indeed.
Whenever we go
Well,
Piranha Pond Live, I hope you do show up though, Hawk, man. It'd be dope to meet you.
indeed. Come on in the pond. The water is lukewarm.
Yep.
It ain't too hot. That shit can
Yeah.
get to boiling around here, right? We generally swimming around this motherfucker about 98 degrees Fahrenheit around this bitch. We piranhas, goddammit. Ain't no
Just one.
goldfish in this pond.
No koi. No, none of that.
None of that shit that's gonna be belly up when it get hot around this
None of that.
motherfucker. Right?
None
We
of
in this
that.
bitch.
We in it.
Man, we done already been on your page, bro. We done seen you. We done seen videos of you. We done seen you and your boys out there stabbing fish, ice hunting or some shit up in Alaska, bro. We up on you, man. We know who our people is. You part of the family, bro.
Looks into it.
Real spill. All right, well, we've been in this bad boy for about an hour. I ain't really got no closing statements, man, because I don't want to offend nobody. I'm low-key pissed off and we can't talk. I want to thank everybody who has joined us today on the Piranha Pond Live at 5/7. Shout out to my boy Nick Nass. About to say this nigga's whole shit.
I heard that.
Shout out to my boy Nick Nass, man. I know you're gonna catch us on the replay. You're gonna have jump your ass up in them comments and shit, man. Just play like it's real time and shit, man. I know you got some shit to say. Hit us with a few of them Nickisms. Sending you shout outs and personal love, nigga. You already know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Mama Nell, my boy
thank you, man.
Bug in the house. Thanks for jumping in, Bug. Atalanto Toad, my guy. Always. You already know what it is.
Young Dub.
Shout out to my boy Hack Brian, 12th man off the grid, AK. Joining us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? What I will say about my boy Hack is Hack he really do understand the assignment and shit, right? So when I say thank you guys for joining us, if you joined us on the Facebook side of the game, join us on YouTube and give us a sub over there.
Man, so we can get the numbers up, baby.
Difference. So my guy understood the assignment, right? He went over there and gave us a sub. Not only did he give us a sub, but he don't log in and catch us on Facebook. He'll catch us on YouTube and try to run the algorithm up for us. We really appreciate that.
Really would appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
Shout out to my sister Meeklin in the house. As
My
always,
wife.
good to see you back. Uh, Mrs. Nunflyer. And who else was in the comments today? That's pretty much about it. Give a shout out to Piranhas. Like I said, if you joined us on the Facebook side of the game, jump over to the YouTube side of the game and give us a sub. It makes a difference with the algorithm over there. If you joined us on either platform, jump over to Clubhouse. We got a club
Yeah.
over there. It's called the Piranha Pond, just like
You
this.
know.
Uh, we usually have a room over there. We'll probably open up a room over there tonight. As
Yes,
soon as we
sir.
get
I'm
off of
in.
this, continue the conversation. You jump up, we'll bring you on stage, let you talk your shit without having your face be seen.
You know, if that's what you
Ah,
into. I like to talk shouldn't be seen though. Like
I
this.
like to talk shit and be seen too.
You know,
Well, you guys know what it is, what it has been, what it always will be. We have been live at 5/7 Central from the Piranha Pond. And now we are still Ram.